Hello, everyone. Welcome back once again. Today's topic is bartender babies. Bartender babies is when we're drinking around our children or around the young ones, and we tend to teach them skills. As I was telling you before, we teach skills, whether they be good skills or bad skills, and children, young people will follow by example most of the time. Imitate what they see. Imitate what they see, what they hear. They'll say what they hear, repeat what they hear sometimes. It's all part of learning the skills. So these could be good skills or bad skills. And bartender babies are taught how to drink. And that was my case. I was a little kid running around the house. I was growing up around alcohol all my life. All my life, like when I was a child, all my childhood life, I should say. Excuse me. I was asked to. Well, I wasn't asked. People would just say, "Richard, go get me another beer." Or my uncle. My uncle and my grandpa. I was raised by most of the time, but I was adopted by my grandfather, and there was a lot of alcohol here on the reserve when I was growing up in my home, and so I was a bartender baby, and I would go run and get the beers and stuff like that for everybody. And Richard, put more beer in the fridge. So I would put more beer in the fridge, or you don't open it this way. Open up another beer for me. You this Back in the day it was you could open it with a cap, right? So it was a twist off. Now they have twist off caps. I think the twist off caps came around somewhere in the mid 1980s. I'm not too sure, but anyways, so we're teaching skills. Okay, when we use our children to fetch our, it's like using a kid as a remote back in the day when you get when there was no remotes and you tell the child to change a channel, that sort of thing. It that, that's I guess that's not a bad thing, but I'm talking about getting the kids to serve you booze, serve alcohol to the adults. You're putting a child in a adult situation. They're around adults around all the time. They're around drunks all the time. Anything can be said, anything can be heard. So after a while, you're teaching. Well, we're teaching this because I'm guilty of it too. I had stepkids, and I would do the same thing. I would have them go get me beer. I go fetch me a beer and that sort of thing. And so it's I guess yeah, you're teaching the skills. All right. So they're learning how to drink. They're learning how much it takes for an alcohol to affect a person, and they see how a person is affected by the alcohol. So the kids get curious, right? So they're serving alcohol all the time. They're told to go run and get the beer. Go get Uncle one too, or go get Auntie one. Don't forget to go get Auntie one. Open up another beer. So constantly, the child is being exposed to alcohol situations all the time. They're in adult situations and alcoholic situations and drug abuse situations even. Uh, so we have to really be careful of that. If we're still using alcohol or we're drinking, we can't be using children in these adult situations. That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of times too, drunken adults tend to tell their kids, "Oh, take care of mommy, take care of daddy, or take care of me. I'm too drunk, or take care of I want to tell you right now that's called reverse roles. Okay, the child or the young person is being exposed or being brought into an adult situation. So the child has to take care of the adult. The child, maybe sometimes as young as 5, 6, and 7 years old, has to lead mommy by the hand or daddy by the hand. And a lot of you might think that's not, there's nothing wrong with that. But a child should not have to take care of their parent if their parent is too drunk. Parents, I don't have kids, by the way. I have stepkids, but I was raised by adults. So that's the only experience I can give you. But yes, you're exposing these kids to these adult situations, and you're asking them to take care of you. And I did it too when I did it with my stepkids. I'm too drunk. I'm too drunk. I'm too drunk. I'm passing out. I'm passing out, and the kids are just running around all over doing whatever the heck they want. And so you just tell them to lock the door or whatever. Don't let nobody in, and lead mommy to the room or lead daddy to the room. Okay, an adult is responsible for taking care of a child. Whatever you do in front of that child, however you treat that child, that's it's going to affect that child in the long run. Whether that child is exposed to sexuality early or exposed to drug addiction early, this could lead to far worse things as they get older. And I will go into different topics with those situations. But right now, the topic is bartender babies, and that's what a bartender baby is. Children being used as adults or being brought into adult situations, and it's really not good. And so adults with children need to take care of their children rather than be too drunk. If you find you're too drunk to take care of your child, then that's it. That pretty much means there's probably a little bit of an alcohol problem, or there must be a problem, right? You can't take care of your kid, and you're getting you want your kid to take care of you because you're too drunk. So I've never agreed with that, and like I said, I'm guilty. I've done it too, and so also with like with drugs when you're smoking the fentanyl around kids or around your pets, or if you're smoking crack, or if you're doing any of these things, you're creating highly toxic situations for these smaller beings, these smaller spirits, these small animals, these small children. They're breathing that in too. Okay, so you're in that situation where you're abusing drugs, and uh, at least try to uh, don't bring them into that situation. And a lot of us, when living in severe addiction, we tend to not care or think about what we say or do, and so that's how we end up bringing our children into these situations. And so we're teaching drug addiction skills. If we're doing these highly toxic drugs around our teenagers or our kids, we're teaching them that it's okay. It's okay to do these things. It's all right. It's okay to behave this way. It's okay to bring men home every night and a different one, or bring a different woman home every night, whatever. Okay? You're creating these situations where you're teaching them skills. These kids are learning skills as they get older. They're going to take these skills into their adult life. So what we need to do is straighten out these cycles of violence, these cycles of abuse. Is We need to someone has to be an adult enough, to stop these cycles and stop practicing these behaviors, practicing any kind of abuse, really. And so when we beat up on a child or we hit a child, we're teaching violence is acceptable, I guess. That's the only way I would gather from it. So I've never agreed with anybody hitting, because I grew up and I was hit when I was growing up. I was getting dragged around by my hair. My grandpa would drag me around by my hair, drag me all over the place like that, hit me, throw things at me. But I loved my grandpa. It was a tough love, right? I loved my grandpa, but I hated him at the same time because of the way he treated me. But at the same time, I needed him. He made me feel dependent on him. And so I was dependent on these situations that revolved around alcohol, abusive situations. And I depended on abusive women. I needed abusive women to please me sexually, to be my partner. I I needed easy, fast action all the time. So when I do that kind of stuff, I'm teaching that. If I'm going to be doing it, if I have kids, if I had kids, I wouldn't want to be creating these situations where I'm bringing drunks home all the time. I when I was married and and I had stepkids, I've done that. I brought drunks home and stuff like that. And it's very dangerous. And so these are toxic situations, and in order to change them, we have to become aware of them and teach them to others that what is wrong and what is right, and especially our children, what is wrong is and what is right. It's it's uh it's not it's not hard to get a hold of our situation if once we become sober and we can become positive role models. So that's what we need to become, as positive role models, because our young people look up to this, look up to what they like I said, imitate and see what they hear. And so you're teaching kids violence. They're going to be violent people when they get older. If there's violence around all the time, and if you're speaking violent and you're behaving violent, and if you're behaving drunk all the time, and that teaches skills. Everything is a skill, whether it's good or bad. As I had said, everything is a skill, and some adults will remember stuff as they get older and throughout their adult life, even into their senior years, and still still used to doing certain things because that's the skills that they were taught. I was brought up on disposable razors. I had one woman in Toronto trying to change my life, trying to change everything about me, and bought me an electric razor. I don't need. I'm not a white person. Okay, I don't wear robes. I don't. I don't need electric razors. Anything like that. I don't like controlling people. So I'm my own person. I was brought up on disposable razors. So to this day, I still use even if I was a millionaire, I would still use disposable razors because that's the skills I was taught. Okay, so whatever we do, whatever we say, we're teaching skills to the kids. And when we teach our kids to drink, we bring them into our parties, have them serve our friends, have them serve ourselves, our relatives, whoever's drinking. The kids learn how to drink. Eventually, they'll put booze away, stash bottle here, stash a bottle underneath a cushion in a chair or the sofa, whatever. After a while, adults are drunk, right? You ain't going to be able to pay attention and keep tabs on your kids when they're putting booze away. So this is how the alcohol cycle is being passed on. With that, I'd like to wish everyone a good weekend, or right now it's almost the weekend. I'm doing this video at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and it's on a Thursday. So I tend to comment on the day or whatever time of the week it is. And so, anyways, I'd like to wish everyone a good day, good weekend, and welcome back again. And we'll see you soon.